Drake and Kendrick Lamar got in a rap battle, who do you think would win?
Got to go with Kendrick. I'm just saying. I think Drake is an outstanding entertainer, but Kendrick, his lyrics, his last album was outstanding.
Excellent, all right.
Best album I think last year.
We are witnessing the legitimate murder of a man on full public display in the internet. We're soon going to see the tombstone of Aubrey Drake Graham, or at least his career as Drake. The craziest thing is, this all started as a compliment. Now don't worry, we will get into all that and explain the entire timeline of the disses, but first, I just want to talk about how important this is. I remember back in 2018 how the world went crazy when Machine Gun Kelly versus Eminem kind of was taking the world by storm, and it truly was one of the most iconic rap moments of the late 2010s. And although there have been some beefs from 2018 until now, nothing has got even close to what is going on with Drake and Kendrick. So far, this entire back and forth has been less than 2 months in the making. And in just the last couple of weeks, both artists throughout both their diss tracks have amassed almost 100 million views, and that's just on YouTube. So to say this is viral or a sensation would be a very big understatement. Now, just in case you may be unaware or haven't been following it as close, I will give you a complete or at least relevant timeline of everything that has happened between K-Dot and Drake. So you may be wondering what started this all off. Well, back in October of 2023, J. Cole had mentioned the big three of hip-hop, which he said was Drake, himself, and Kendrick Lamar. Funnily enough, which you may want to remember this for later, J. Cole also said the line, "Just know if I diss you, I'd make sure you know that I hit you like I'm on your caller ID." Just a funny thing to remember for later. And the song had regular traction like a Drake song and J. Cole song. It wasn't anything special. It was just a somewhat decent track. However, it was in March 2024 that Kendrick released Like That with Metro Boomin. Basically, Kendrick was saying that there is no big three and it's just Big Me, or it's just Big Kendrick, that he's at the top. Now, why would he do this? I mean, he wasn't even a part of the original first-person shooter, so, you know, shouldn't he take it as a compliment that they were saying he's in the big three with them? Well, Kendrick and Drake have had a history of negativity for a very long time. The other disses toward Cole and Drake in this song were nothing compared to what was coming. They weren't subliminal. There were some very head-on direct, like, hey, I don't like you. But, like I said, it was nothing like what's about to transpire. Actually, before Drake, J. Cole went first, releasing 7-Minute Drill, and this was like a pseudo-diss claiming that Kendrick fell off and stuff like that, which was actually deleted pretty quick after posting, and he apologized and said that, oh, this is all useless and we shouldn't be doing this back and forth. Now, it's funny because even though he looks really goofy for, you know, saying all that tough stuff in first-person shooter and then backing down so quick, he was able to dodge the absolute insanity Kendrick was about to bestow onto Drake.
Right? So I'm so proud of that project, except for one part. It's one part of that shit that make me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my fucking life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all, right? I damn near had a relapse, right? Because y'all heard some shit that happened 3 weeks ago, however long it was. Y'all heard that bazooka that was dropped on the motherfucking game, right? So all of this time of me moving on my own accord, for the first time I was tested. Why am I tested? Because I got the world and I got my niggas like, what you gonna do, Cole? My niggas like, boy, I must have had 1,000 missed calls. Oh my fucking God. Text flooded, I couldn't even answer my shit. Nigga, it's wartime, boom, 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 right? Niggas wanna see blood. And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart, you know what I mean? And like, I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase their greatness, right? So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way, but the world want to see blood. I don't know if y'all can feel that, but the world want to see blood. So I say all of that to say, in my spirit of trying to like get this music out, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I moved in a way that I feel spiritually feel bad on me. Like I try to like jab my nigga back and I try to keep it friendly, but at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit. That shit make me feel, that shit disrupts my fucking peace.
Should have gone for the head.
So J. Cole backs out of the little diss war on Drake's side, and all sides really, and so Drake drops Push-Ups, which is a reply directly to Like That, as well as a diss to The Weeknd, Rick Ross, Metro Boomin, and Future. Now, to give Drake some credit with Push-Ups, it was an okay track with some okay disses, but it was nothing like what was about to come down the pipeline. However, before Kendrick's next response, Drake dropped Tailor-Made. Now, this track, the only way I can really describe it is just absolute cringe. It literally used AI voices of Snoop Dogg and Tupac. And I don't know if Drake wrote this song himself and then used the AI voices or what, but he literally used Tupac's voice to diss himself, saying that himself liked young girls, which is going to lead into what we're going to talk about later. But I mean, why would you just throw shade at yourself like that? It kind of reminds me of in 8 Mile when Eminem disses everything about himself so that the opponent can't diss anything about him, but that's just not at all how the delivery came out. Tailor-Made was gone as quickly as it was uploaded, as he was about to get into some legal trouble as he did not get the permission to use Tupac's voice or likeness, so Tailor-Made was kind of out of the official running, but obviously it's the internet, it was re-uploaded a bajillion times. And now things really started to piss off Kendrick, and he dropped Euphoria. While Euphoria was slightly goofy and more loose, it had some heat packed in it, like claiming Drake knew nothing about the lifestyle that he claims to be a part of, which has been a popular meme for a very long time. Now, kind of like Drake did with Push-Ups and immediately dropped Tailor-Made, Kendrick immediately dropped 616 in LA right after posting Euphoria. In my opinion, 616 in LA is one of the most underrated in the whole catalog, especially one that doesn't use AI, cringe, and it's also just got some really good throws in it, like 100 people you got on salary and 20 of them want you as a casualty. Just as this was taking off in the internet and going absolutely insane already, Drake finally responded again with Family Matters, accusing Kendrick of some pretty crazy stuff, such as some domestic abuse against his wife, as well as, you know, calling him short. Within 30 minutes of Family Matters coming out, Kendrick replies directly to Family Matters in a track called Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams, I think, was the track that really opened the envelope to just another depth of disses towards Drake. The biggest one from this track, obviously, that's taking the internet by storm, is claiming his neglect or deadbeatness of a daughter that the world didn't know that Drake had. And then, in the theme of this doubling down, just hours after Meet the Gram, Kendrick's dropped his best diss, in my opinion, of the back and forth called Not Like Us. Whew, I think firmly Not Like Us will go down as one of the most insane diss tracks that have ever graced the internet and will stay that way for a very long time. So, in case you haven't somehow heard it yet, he claims that Drake is a, let's just say, PDF file, saying the chord he strikes is A minor, if you get what I'm trying to say here, which, weirdly enough, think all the way back to Tailor-Made, which Drake pseudo said through Tupac's voice about himself. I don't know, it's kind of weird, so maybe there's some insider stuff that both of them know that we don't know. Maybe it is fully confirmed. I have no idea. Kendrick in this track also talks about, again, Drake's kids. He talks about that there is a lot of people around him that are predators, and Drake knows they're predators and still continues to be around them. He even, throws slack at Drake for using Tupac's likeness in his Tailor-Made track. I think out of this whole catalog, Not Like Us is going to be the hit. It's going to be the most popular. It's going to be the one that could be actually played as like a song and not just a diss. And it's a crazy track. And when I first heard it, oh my God, it was insane. That is where we are right now, and I'm recording this on the 5th of May, 2024. My predictions? Well, I honestly have no idea. I hope some other rappers get involved. I've seen a bunch of memes of like Eminem's name getting brought up and him getting into it and some big names like that, and that would just be really cool to see. Maybe Snoop Dogg will get involved because he used an AI version of him. I just know that for the first time in a long time that music is very exciting, and this has, the internet by the balls, and I genuinely don't know how Drake is going to be able to come back or even respond to Not Like Us. Okay, Not Like Us is not the last. I was in the middle of editing when I had to add this in. It is the same day that I recorded everything else, but the same day later in the day, Drake released The Heart Part 6. It is a response to most of what Kendrick is talking about on Not Like Us, as well as some other things, and Drake says pretty confidently within this record, a lot of the stuff that Kendrick had on him were stuff that the OVO team had planned. The whole thing was fake, and they finessed him, which is literally his own words, into making songs about these subjects that aren't actually real things. Things like his daughter, the PDF file, that kind of stuff. Me personally, I don't think it was fake. I think Drake saw the internet talking about how all this stuff could just be staged or could just be made up or whatever, and he ran with it. He fully ran with it, because even before Drake released this, I was seeing, tiny accounts saying, oh, what if it's not real, or what if this is da-da-da-da-da. So I think, obviously, I can't confidently say that this wasn't some master plot that Kendrick fell for, but this response to me to something anything as influential and crazy as Not Like Us being The Heart Part 6. The Heart Part 6 kind of sucks, in my opinion. Just imagine being in Drake's shoes facing that right now. My biggest hope, I guess, is that I hope it just stays music. It doesn't go into real life violence. Nobody gets hurt. They have their major beef, and they probably will for a very long time. I just hope nothing terrible comes from it. But I think this is undoubtedly the craziest beef in a long time. I'm just gonna go and say it. Hopefully this doesn't make you dislike the video. This is getting close to being on par with Tupac versus Biggie. There, I said it. You know, crucify me, whatever.